humans, ghouls, and mutated fools. My name is Mara. I'm a mutated zombie, and you are on the channel Beware Mutated Zombies, but you don't need to be aware of me to be afraid. I promise. I've been gone. Well, we've been gone for a while because all the humans in our like little base camp thing, yeah, they all got sick with like strep throat or something. And if you think that a zombie can't get sick, I can tell you right now, we can. Well, at least the mutated ones can. I don't know about the non-mutated ones, but we got sick. Bacteria, when it mutates, interesting things happen. I'm not going to tell you what happened. Good. It's gross. And the humans, just, because they're sick, they can't keep their coughs down or their sneezes or anything. So guess what happens? Other zombies who are not, like, able to think for themselves and are just like, brains. And even mutated zombies who are like, brains. They're like, yeah, let's go to this base because we can hear them and eat them. So then we mutate zombies and humans who can actually, stand up and see enough to fire guns and things. They're just like, keep everyone safe. And yeah. So that's been happening. Also, I was recording videos before the sickness and they all were blank. So I get to redo all this, and that's what's happening right here. So you're not going to get my first response to this episode. Just know that when I played this, I remembered my hatred for the princess. That happened. But yeah, let's go ahead and get back into this. I'm going to click start as opposed to continue because I have to redo it. I don't want the tutorial. No, I've been through this. Skip this. We've been through this. Let's keep the name that we had before. It was either Lila or Lilac. I don't remember. Enter. Prologue. You guys, if you want the prologue, you can go watch the first videos. We're skip. Oh, stop. Forward? Yes, forward. Next choice. Okay. Go right. I don't remember which one I chose last time. But, yeah, that's there. Forward. Skip next choice. Oh, okay, so, in Karma's route, I picked go left. So that's green, now it's supposed to red. I asked all these last time, so you guys can just, again, watch the original, videos for the prologue jazz. I'm only here for the romance options right now, okay? The romance and the story of those romances before I play the second game. I just want the romance options. Right. I was told to be silent to Rod. That's not being silent, princess. You have no right to start acting the victim now. Not when you've treated my family with such disrespect. I think he's purple. I think that's him. The only reason I didn't say anything before is because Emmeline didn't want me to. I'm happier to now that you're gone. I don't have to pretend like I like you anymore. I'm going to return to the palace now. I'm gone and they're all happier. Well, yeah, obviously. You're kind of rude and messed up. Your very existence has been erased in the palace. They've never known you. That doesn't mean they're happy without you. I mean, maybe the dad misses you, but everybody else you were kind of messed up to, so... Even the king. What did I expect? Why did you bring me here? The people in the Marchen, I should have left you alone in there. I'm sorry. Oh, okay, so, yeah, we've gone through this. Forward! Skip! Okay. So, when I played this, I found out that this dude likes people who attack him, even if it makes no sense story-wise with the options. So, using my knowledge from the past that you guys did not get to see because things did not want to record, I'm just gonna, be an asshole to him. So I guess I'm gonna do what the princess normally would do, what I think she would do. Throw a tray at him. Can I throw the tray at him? I'm tempted to let you. Feisty as well? Oh, be still my beating heart. God, I love him. Oh, purple is him. Okay. Huh? You... Oh, he's awake. Another lovely lady has entered my chambers. I don't think my heart can handle the perfection of 3 of you at once. I think I know how Casanova here got those head injuries. I want this to be an anime just for him. Just for Rumple. That is all I want this anime for. I want this to be an anime so I can watch Rumple. Some lady decided she'd had enough of his rubbish and wanted to punish him. Delora, patience. He may not even be in the right state of mind right now. No, I'm pretty sure that's him. He did take injuries to the head after all. The man finally stops to look just at me. He narrows his eyes and stares so hard I almost want to slap him. What? You're familiar. But no, it's impossible. Aren't you the crown princess? What are you doing here? If he knows, then he's... Well, he's definitely not a witch or fairy. It can only mean one thing if he recognizes the ice princess. What is your name, good sir? I would answer any questions you ask of me, madam, but... The man looks down at the notebook in his hand. I don't remember. Amnesia? I know everything about Angel, and yet I don't know the first thing about myself. Except that I have the Rumpelstiltskin curse. Rumpelstiltskin? Is that a fairy tale? I knew it. He's got the fairy tale curse. Fairy tale curse? Do you remember how to break it? From what I remember, I need to somehow collect 3 memories and get them to appear in this journal as entries. He shows us the notebook he's been holding onto since we entered the room. My first memory is of waking up and holding this. I thought there would be information here, but it's empty. Another victim of the curse. You must be tired. Lilac will leave your breakfast here and will give you some time to yourself. We'll be outside if you need anything else. Rumpelstiltskin. What is that fairy tale about? Delora does not do a good job of hiding her laughter. She snorts and I cross my arms, embarrassed. Mother burned the fairy tales in the palace before I got a chance to read all of them. Fine, I'll keep it short. Once upon a time there was a girl that was said to be able to spin straw into gold. The king found her and locked her up in a tower. He said he wouldn't let her out until she turned all the straw in the room into gold. But the girl was just a regular human girl. She knew she would never be able to turn the straw into gold and feared that she would be locked up forever. That was when an odd little man appeared before her and offered to do the job for her if she gave him something in return. The girl gave him her necklace, and the man spent the rest of the night spinning the straw into gold. However, the girl wasn't released. The second night she was given more straw to spin, and the little man appeared once more. This time she gave him her ring. On the third night, the king ordered her to spin the straw one last time, and if she did, she would be released and made his queen. However, that night the girl had nothing left to give the little man, so they made an agreement. He would spin the straw into gold for her, so long as she gave him her first child. I personally never understood why the girl would want to marry the king in the first place. Hush, I'm trying to tell a story here. Years passed and the queen finally gave birth to her first child. That night the odd little man returned and demanded his due, but the queen didn't want to give up her child. The man then said that he wouldn't take the child if the queen was able to guess his name in 3 days. The man's name was Rumpelstiltskin. Did she guess it? Oh yeah, the night before her time was officially up, the queen was drawn to the forest by the sound of a little voice. She saw the little man celebrating his upcoming victory, singing about how nobody had or ever would guess his real name, which was Rumpelstiltskin. He does not sound particularly smart. So agrees the general populace. Sometimes I wonder how Hans was able to come up with such tall tales. Well, the Martian is opening soon. I expect another busy day. Especially busy for you, Lilac. You need to start coming up with good deeds. Excuse me. Also, I know the rest of this, so ski up. Alright, we are now to choosing who we want. Rumple! I suppose I can ask Rumple. Enough girls seem to like him, so he might have sound advice. Which is odd, considering you three don't like him. I find Rumple in between his orders and pull him aside. He looks oddly relieved. Ah, Princess, you've saved me. Saved you? From a heinous overload of work. I am pretty sure Rumple does less around here than me. At least I finish the work I am given, unlike Rumple, who gets distracted by every single thing. Dear Lilac, if you've called me here, then you must want to confess something to me. What? Perhaps you'll confess your undying love for me? I scowl at him and cross my arms. I came to ask your advice, but perhaps I'll go ask someone else. You came to ask my advice? Rumple stares at me, clearly shocked. I guess it is because out of all the people I would ask, he probably seems the least likely. Technically, yeah. Then I will assist, my sweet princess. What kind of advice are you looking for? Perhaps you'd like to learn how to make a man spoon, or how to stroke the embers of the heart? Is flirting the only thing that is ever on his mind? I came because I want you to teach me about goodness. Goodness, but my sweet, all of the advice that I just suggested would teach you just that. Being romantic will not teach me how to do good. Rumple dramatically places his hand over his heart. But being romantic is good. Don't you see the smiles on the lovely ladies' faces when I speak with them? I cannot imagine why they smile like that. Rumple's persistence is annoying. To be romantic and loving, that is the epitome of goodness. Show someone affection and they will return it twofold. I don't think so. I can only stare at Rumple as I wonder why I even decided to ask him. Or you could just be kind. Everyone is kind in their own way, princess. So what do you say? Okay, see that one, that I agree with. Just be kind. Perhaps you would like to practice on me. I'm sure your smile would brighten up my week. No, I'm certain of it. I have work. I quickly turn and leave before Rumple can continue. If I have to be romantic to earn a good deed, I'd rather be cursed like this forever. But what about being kind? I stare in horror at the floor. Ah, yes, Mr. Broom. If you don't know who Mr. Broom is, go to the previous videos, because I'm only here for the romance options right now. Back to Rumple. I find Rumple taking a break at one of the tables. Surprisingly, he is by himself and not surrounded by the usual blushing ladies. You are not surrounded by a flock of ladies? You must have done something to offend them. Rumple looks at me, the surprise apparent on his face. Princess, have you come to mend my broken heart? Excuse me? I was speaking with a lady here only hours ago when she told me that she was betrothed to someone else. That happened hours ago, and you are still sitting here? Rumple places his chin on the palm of his hand, looking very tired. In mourning, the heart is a fragile thing, princess. Won't you help me? Won't you help my shattered heart? Rumple stares at me when I do not answer. That would count as a good deed, you know. Helping you would count as a good deed. Doing things out of the kindness of your heart is a good deed, princess. The kindness of my heart? Why would I want to help you when you've done nothing for me? Kindness of your own heart. That's literally the answer. Kindness isn't a thing that needs to be necessarily returned, princess. Single instances of affection can make a heart lighter. Again, calling it affection. Just be kind. Why does he always go through the trouble of making his words sound so much fancier? I will not help you mend your broken heart because that would be an act of stupidity, not kindness. Rumple's shoulders slump as he frowns. Ah, now my heart is even more fragmented. You suffer from a broken heart every day you are rejected. Of course, because to pour your heart out to someone only to be rejected is a cruel fate, princess. You probably deserved rejection, what with the way you flirt with everyone, so no, I'm not going to help you. Deal with your own broken heart. I turn around and walk away. I mean, yeah, he does flirt with everyone. The acts Rumple puts on are annoying, but entertaining. A month has passed, and I have yet to complete even one good deed, not for any lack of trying, though. I doubt that. I don't think you've been trying. I have been asking around for advice on how to be a good person and received various answers. What makes someone good? I'd say being selfless. Agree. I think it's important that you consider another person's feelings. Agree. Patience. Agree. The ability to soothe even the most broken of hearts. No. Forget I asked. Bravery. True. Loyalty. You must be beautiful both on the inside and out. Nah. Must I be all those things in order to be good? According to Parfait, I cannot just pretend. It has to come from my heart. I place my hand on my chest and consider the steady pulse of my heartbeat. That will not be easy. I close my eyes, thinking of all the possible ways I might be able to break my curse, but in the end, my mind is blank. Mother, what am I supposed to do? Do not ask your mom. Your mom's... no. A dream? Your personal feelings are nothing but a weakness for others to exploit. That is why you do not show them. You only show them that you are strong. Yes, Mother. You must not let false kindness deceive you. People will use niceties to trick you into exploiting your weak emotions. But you can trust me, Lilac. I will never hurt you. I will never lie to you. I am all you need. I love you, Lilac. I love you too, Mother. She sounds creepy and evil. Ford. Next choice. These are still locked. I don't know how to unlock them because I got both the bad and good endings for Karma. So I don't know why they're still locked. Maybe I have to do all these two before I can get these two. We'll find out. But Rumple. Chapter 3: The Flatterer. I do not know why the first person that popped into my mind was Rumple. Just because he puts a smile on ladies' faces with his flirting does not mean he can help me do a good deed. And yet here I am. I find Rumple on break, surrounded by a few giggling ladies. His hands make dramatic sweeping gestures as he showers them with compliments. And you, my sweet, are like sunshine peeking through the clouds on a dark day. You litter the ground with so much golden light and make every flower reach out toward your warmth. On second thought, maybe I should reconsider. Princess! Rumple notices me, however, and immediately waves me over. So even though I am, looking for him so that I could ask him about being my partner and stuff, apparently I'm just supposed to turn and walk away. Because last time I walked towards him and I did not get the little gem crystal thingy. So turn and walk away. I've learned. I just remembered that I have something to do. I turn around to start walking away, but I am immediately stopped when I feel Rumple's hand on my shoulder. I slap his hand away. Fierce as always, you remind me of a rose with thorns, Princess. He leans closer and winks at me. But the thorns are what makes the rose so alluring. Are you always so persistent, or do you actually want me to slap you again? Your slapping me is but a small blockade in the road. I will never give up on you, Princess. Does he enjoy it when I purposefully try to ignore him? Yes. The most brilliantly sparkling gems are buried deep within the ground and take much effort to unearth. What? Princess, you are like one of those gems. No, I am not like a gem. Rumple, why would you deal with someone like her? What? Lilac is a budding flower, and I want to do my best to help her bloom in whatever way I can. You've come to me for advice, right? How did he know? The look of shock on your face is adorable and so absolutely satisfying. It seems I hit the nail right on the head. Rumple, she is obviously too stubborn to admit that she needs your help. These women are infuriating. Rumple leans a little closer to me, and suddenly he's whispering in my ear, how did he get that close, with you being uncomfortable around him? Shouldn't you have, punched him in the face or something? Let me tell you something, Princess. Making a person happy just to see them smile is definitely a good deed. Huh? Making someone feel important is never a disservice. What do you think? I'm pretty knowledgeable, aren't I? All he ever talks about is doting on people, flirting with them, and making them smile. Rumple continues talking. Which is why I will make an excellent partner. I take a step back. Rumple is now looking at me with a triumphant smile. How did you... I'm very perceptive, Princess. You ever heard my conversation with Parfait? She told me about it. She did? Only briefly. So you're not perceptive at all. Princess, you cannot see it, but I am drowning in my own tears. He just assumed I was going to be partners with him, which is very annoying. I do not even know why I was considering partnering up with Rumple when he says the same things over and over again. And I do not think I could be around him day in and out. Oh my, what do I spot here? Dillard appears before us, a sly smile on her face. Slacking off, you two? I'm on break. That break ended about 5 minutes ago, Rumple. And Princess, I think there's a broom that needs attending. Fine. There's no use complaining, and I would rather get away from Rumple. Rumple turns to the ladies and smiles. My lovely ladies, I will be back later, and I promise that we will continue our conversation without any interruptions. Doubt that. Oh, and Princess. We'll continue our conversation later as well. I walk off before Rumple can try to shower more of his compliments onto me. Making a person happy just to see them smile. Can such a thing really be considered a good deed? The days of the days at the tavern go by quickly over the next week. Princess? Princess? You've been staring off into space. I was just thinking. I just finished using Mr. Broom, and now I am helping Anise sort some of the shelves in the back. Rumple has taken up the serving for the day. The women always enjoy him, but the men are always glaring at him. They're jealous of Rumple, I think. Who? The other men. Anise looks over at the men that are glaring at Rumple as he drifts between tables. I'm worried about Rumple, too. What are you talking about? You were looking at Rumple with a funny expression on your face. No, I wasn't. My words are clipped, and my voice is cold. Anise looks at me sadly, but I do not care. And what I do is none of her business. I think the girls are jealous of you, too. What? I glance around the tavern and notice that there are girls glowering at me. I am not unaccustomed to these glares, since people have always looked at me this way. During the times I left the palace, people gave me the same looks, but this feels different somehow. Why would they be jealous? Because you're Rumple's partner. I'm not his partner. You're not? He's been telling everyone that you are. I never agreed to being partners with him. However, we already chose, and there's no going back. I felt your longing gaze upon my back, and I have arrived, my princess. Rumple suddenly appears before the two of us, smiling brightly. I suddenly have the strong urge to slap the smile right off his face. We are not partners. Princess, you asked for my advice. Advice that I gave to you because I care. No one else cares as much about you as I. And so I proclaimed us both partners because we are a match made in heaven. You're so overwhelmed with gratitude that you are at a loss for words. If I could throw something at you, I would. A punch packed with as much strength as your love. I can only groan in response. Oh my. Hello everyone, it sounded like you're having fun. How is this fun? Rumple is never fun. All he ever does is spout nonsense. He doesn't mean any harm, Princess. He's just filled to the brim with so many compliments, and he needs to get them off his chest. Well, he can go direct them at one of his many adoring fans. I shift my gaze to Rumple and furrow my eyebrows at him. Or do you only direct them at me because you enjoy how much I ignore you? I only want to help the princess. I only wanted to help Princess. That's what partners do, right? But we are not partners. Just try this partnership out, Princess. I promise it will be worth your while. Nothing ventured, nothing gained, Princess. You can always change partners. That's a lie. Lady Parfait, you've broken my heart. You are very good at healing your broken heart by now, Rumple. Anyway, I'm sorry to interrupt. I only needed to speak with Anise to make sure that she doesn't need any help with a particular list. A list? A list of herbs for me. Anise has been nice enough to gather herbs for me. Lady Parfait, is this about your body? What's wrong with your body? It's nothing to concern yourself with, Princess. My body is just a little frail because of the burden on it. That's right, Parfait mentioned having to bear the Crystallum Lucius. A thought occurs to me as I look at her more closely. Wait, couldn't you use magic to heal yourself? Parfait shakes her head in sighs. I don't have the ability to heal. None of us do, except for one particular witch who calls herself the Witch Doctor. Witch Doctor? Is something wrong? Rumple shakes his head and gives a wistful smile. That name just sounds familiar. It's likely you heard about her from someone else before. Humans do know of her existence after all. A witch? She's not... Oh, something froze. It froze. A witch? She's not a fairy? For some reason I had thought fairies would be more likely to heal people, not witches. She is indeed a witch, that is what they say. Though I have never met her myself. She is the only one who can heal illnesses with magic. She doesn't associate with other witches, though, and keeps to herself. Nobody knows where to find her. Nobody has known where to find her for a very long time. Suffice to say, Suffice to say, we could never seek out help from her, even if we wanted to. Parfait shakes her head. No, unfortunately not. Rumple looks grim, but Parfait quickly dissipates the gloomy atmosphere with a clap of her hands. If Delora was here, she would say, "All right, story time is over." That was all very interesting. Interesting, but it does not really help anyone. Your body's the way that it is because of the Great War, then? Like I told you before, the Great War has made my body a lot weaker. This is something that cannot be healed, and I don't have an heir, so... Parfait looks about ready to say something, but goes silent. She has a sad look on her face, and I don't understand why. Anise immediately speaks up. "I think I'll be okay, Lady Parfait. I was actually going to go on an errand run in a few minutes. If you need any help, I would be more than happy to escort a lovely lady like yourself around town." Anise pulls a list out from a bag nearby and holds it out. There are only a few items on the list, as far as I can see. "Don't worry about it, Rumple. It's not that much at all." Rumple stares at the list. His expression suddenly smooths into something more serious. "May I have that?" Anise hands him the list, and slowly he takes out a pen out from his pocket. I stare as he looks over the list quietly and then scribbles some things down at the bottom. Afterwards, he hands it over to Anise. "I've added some things that might be helpful. The herbs on that list are for joint pains, and you might want something a little more general." How does he know all that? Everyone is staring at Rumple with wide eyes. Even Parfait looks impressed. "You've used herbs before, Rumple?" "Maybe. I don't remember. But for some reason, names came to the top of my head as I was looking at the list." "Thank you." "It is always my pleasure to help a lovely lady. Now, Anise, please let me accompany you to town." "I would love to help with whatever I can, and more names might come to me." "That sounds nice. Thank you, Rumple." Rumple turns to me, a mischievous smile on his face. Whenever he looks at me like that, I know he is going to say something ridiculous. "Princess Lilac should accompany us, for the experience." "I do not need experience." "Yes, you do. Get out of here." "How are you going to shower people with compliments if you know nothing about them? Being out in town will be good for you." Rumple has a point. The more you expand your world, the more willing you are to learn more about people. I do not need to be lectured. It's not a lecture. "Well, Princess, it was meant to be a lecture. I was just letting you know that experience is valuable." "Come on, Princess. Let us escort the lovely Anise around town." "What about your work?" Rumple puts a finger to my lips and grins. "No one seems to have thought of that, so it will be our little secret." Again, they slap him. "How's he getting so close?" "Slap him." I slap his hand away, but he just grins at me jovially. "You should have slapped him sooner. Get away from me. Too close." How did I get dragged into this? Easily. "Please don't stay out too long." "We won't." I make my way into town with Rumple and Anise. The majority of the conversations we have are one-sided, with Rumple giving us both the usual compliments. He never seems to tire of it. Rumple helps Anise pick certain herbs and a few other medications, and accepts all the compliments she gives him with a triumphant smile. I know Anise knows about herbs because she's helped me before, but how does Rumple know so much about them? This must be part of the past that he doesn't remember. Anise enters the store by herself at one point, leaving me alone with Rumple. "I'm a mysterious man, aren't I?" I turn to look at him and notice the easy smile adorning his face. "A man with amnesia is full of secrets, after all. I bet you're even more curious about me. Women always love mysterious men." I do not particularly care. "Princess, if my curse is my amnesia, then shouldn't you care somehow? As partners, we're going to help each other out, right? I do not see how I can help you with your amnesia." "Ah, maybe this is a spell that is only broken by true love's kiss. Shall we see?" Ugh! Punch him. He leans toward me with a playful smile on his face. I am accustomed to this behavior by now, so this does not faze me, and I merely sigh at his nonsense. "You already said yourself that you need to gather entries from some kind of journal." "Ah, Princess, you're no fun. A little kiss wouldn't hurt anyone. It would hurt my pride." "I would die before I kiss you." "Princess, that's so sad." He says that, but he is still smiling. Why is he so unfazed by everything I say to him? "You only ever have terrible suggestions. It was a mistake to trust you might have good advice." Have good advice. "But I have great ideas." "You haven't helped my curse at all." "I mean, he has, though. He's told you to be kind to people out of the goodness of your heart. It's your own fault that you don't understand kindness." "I have been trying, though." "You haven't even told me how to get a good deed." "Yes, he has." "I told you before, Princess, compliments make a person happy, and making a person happy is a good deed." "So you flirting with women and using shallow compliments on them is a good deed?" "On the surface, the compliments may seem shallow, but if you swim a little deeper..." Complimenting people cannot be a good deed, but making them happy is. All you have to do is listen to people, sympathize with them, maybe get to know them, and you can make them happy by doing even small things for them. Women enjoy the compliments, Princess. Besides, how could I see such beauties and not compliment them? It would be a disservice. You give compliments to people you do not even care about. Princess. Rumple's voice trails off as he stares past me. His smile falters for a few moments, and a look of confusion ripples his features. I turn to follow his gaze and see a small boy staring at us. He is shyly hiding behind some kind of notebook. Oh, it's a little child. There's that seriousness again. It was the same thing that happened when he added something to the list for parfait. Then suddenly the expression changes into Rumple's usual bright smile. Hello there. Would you like to come and speak with us, young sir? You don't remember me, sir? Oh, do I know you? I used to come to your clinic. You saved me before. The boy draws closer to us, still hiding shyly behind his notebook. Oh, I'm sorry, little sir. I'm afraid that my memories are a bit scrambled right now. I can't even remember my own name. Really? Where's Anise? Why is she taking so long? What the? There's a conversation happening. This kid knows who Rumple is, and you're just like, The last thing I wanted to hear is a conversation between Rumple and some child. Is he going to shower this boy with compliments too? I don't like her. Get out of here. Return. I don't know what happened. It's a shame that I can't remember a boy as bright as yourself. And there it is. I'm not that bright, sir. Not as bright as you, but I want to be. He holds up his notebook, which has a small name scribbled in the corner. The words, My Dreams, are written on the front cover in cursive letters. What's this? I want to be just like you when I grow up, so I started a book of dreams just like my mom told me to. She said I could become a doctor too, so long as I try my best. A doctor? You forgot that you were a doctor, sir? Rumple, a doctor? The boy continues to hold out the book, and finally Rumple takes it and flips it open to the front page. Rumple is holding the book close to his face so I cannot see it. I rise to the tips of my toes and attempt to look over his shoulder. At first, Rumple does not notice me as he stares at the page. Then, belatedly, he realizes I am there and lowers the book so that I can read it too. I lean so close to him our shoulders brush. My eyes scan over the page quickly. The handwriting is crude, barely readable actually, but I can still make out the gist of it. Rumple slowly reads the words aloud. When I'm older, I want to be exactly like the kind doctor that saved me when I had no one else to go to. The boy's face flushes as Rumple reads his words aloud before his curious gaze lands on me. I don't remember you. I looked at the boy, irritated. Are you the doctor's wife? Rumple suddenly looks up, eyes wide. He looks down at the boy, then at me, his face suddenly solemn. I'm surprised by the words that leave his mouth next. Yes, she is. He takes my hand in his and looks down at me, an almost sad look on his face. What is wrong with him? And instead of pulling my hand away, I'm supposed to slap him, which makes no sense to me. But okay. Let go of me. Rumple's eyes crease with worry as he holds tightly to my hand. The sadness in his eyes becomes anxiety, and I see something like fear dancing in his eyes. You really think it was my fault? The look in his eyes is so vacant, almost like he's looking through me. It's as if he is in some kind of trance. The way he looks at me makes my skin crawl. His grip on my hand tightens, making me shudder. Rather than slap his hand away, I reach out with my free hand and slap his face. I stare, perplexed, at a sudden bafflement on Rumple's face. The slap to the face knock him out of that strange trance? He's being even stranger than normal, and the intensity of the look in his eyes is scaring me. See, that makes sense. If you had given me the option, like, around there when he was being weird, sure. But you gave it to me before the weirdness. So it just didn't make sense. Rumple stares at me for a few moments, blinking slowly. Oh no, I blanked out. I'm sorry, Princess. What just happened to him? The way he was speaking was so strange, almost like he was in some kind of trance. But I know how people are. They lie and they put on faces. I'm sorry for spacing out. If I invaded your space, then I'm sorry. You are apologizing? Rumple puts a hand to his cheek where I slapped him. Aha. I think I deserved that. Thanks for getting me out of whatever that was. All at once, the sheepish smile breaks into something cheerful again. He's still smiling at me, even though I was so curt with him. Rumple is so confusing. The boy looks bewildered. Don't worry about that, little sir. This one here is a feisty thing. I deserved whatever she just did. So she's not your wife, sir? Rumple looks a little surprised, then he laughs. Unfortunately, no, the beautiful lady here is not my wife. Rumple absently rubs the back of his neck as he looks up at the sky. I'm not entirely sure of what just happened, but it seems like I recovered something very important today. or the beginnings of something very important. Something important? Is he talking about a memory? He hands the book back to the boy, then he leans down and sets a hand on the boy's head. A bell chimes behind us as Anise comes out of the store, carrying a bag filled with what I assume are herbs and medicines. The boy once again cowers behind his book. Oh, who's this? The wonderful little sir that helped me agree on a very important memory. An important memory? Rumple stands, looking triumphant. I, my good lady, am a doctor. Oh, really? Truly. Rumple turns back to the boy, who asks a few more questions. He even asks the boy his name, but much to my surprise, the boy shakes his head. I'm sure you told me your name, but I don't remember it. It is like my curse. No one remembers me being a princess, and no one remembers Rumple's true name. Rumple thanks the boy again many times over and even buys him a few pieces of candy. The boy's eyes are particularly glowing with excitement, and he does not stop smiling. After he sees him off and starts to head back to After we see him off and start to head back to the tavern, I begin to contemplate. I'm curious about something. Oh? You said that you need to fill your journal with memories in order to get them back, but the journal you just read wasn't yours. It appears not. It seems that the 3 entries that trigger my memories just need to be written by people I know. Reading them triggers a memory, and then the full entry probably appears in my journal. I have to check it when I get back. I see. But even without looking into the entry, a memory came to your mind? Rumple gives a short, distracted nod. It is not complete, so I'm hoping that something really has appeared in my journal. It feels like it must, considering I remembered something so important. Do you remember anything else at all? The young man that we just met. I believe that he used to come watch me work before. I knew him. He used to look up to me. He was a sweet child. The memory is foggy, but yes, I believe something did happen to him. He became ill. The details of how I saved him must be in the journal. Even though this does not pertain to my curse, I am curious what his journal might say. I can't remember fully, but the memory feels sad somehow. He turns to me, eyebrows knit together. It is strange to see him with such a serious expression on his face. I really am sorry about earlier, Princess. I think I was on the verge of a memory, but then it got tangled up in my head. I am surprised by his sudden change in topic. I shake my head slowly. He is quiet for a few moments before suddenly his smile comes back and he laughs jovially, telling us that there is no point in worrying. At the town's outskirts, I turn, feeling eyes on my back. But no one is there. Ooh. We give Parfait the medicines we purchased in town as soon as we arrive back at the Marchand. Then Rumple proudly announces that he is a doctor to anyone that will listen to him. Everyone seems happy for him, save the Marchand patrons that find Rumple annoying, who are mostly men. Afterwards, Rumple asks Anise if he might be able to take over the medications for Parfait, if only because Anise is busier than him. Rumple hasn't been at the Marchand long, and yet he's already found something to help break his curse. And then there's me, who refuses to understand the advice that you are told, and instead stick to what your mother told you. Just accept that your mother gave you bad advice or something. I don't think anyone will be able to help me. At the end of the night, when I finally have time to myself, I return to my room to rest. The next day, I am sent right back to my chores. Rumple is nowhere to be seen in the morning, and Anise says it's because he is tending to Parfait. He appears later in the afternoon, still full of smiles and silly flattery as he goes back to serving. How does he have so much energy? At the end of the day, I plop down on the settee to rest. My legs are weak from all the walking I have done today, and I can still feel the tiredness in my arms from all the sweeping with Mr. Broom. Princess? I notice Anise standing beneath the doorway, smiling at me uncertainly. Thank you for your work today. Why is she thanking me for work I obviously do not want to do? Because you did it, even though you don't want to do it? It's not as if I've asked to do any of this. But you still help. Anise nervously shifts on her feet. So I just want to say thanks. When I do not make any effort to continue speaking with her, Anise gives a nervous little nod before heading back toward her room. Not long after her departure, I hear an exuberant and familiar voice. I should count my lucky stars, for they are giving me a rare opportunity to meet with my lovely princess this late at night. I should have gone to my room. Rumple stops before winking. The moonlight on your face makes your beautiful eyes sparkle like the most precious gold, princess. I'm not in the mood for your flattery. Princess, flattery is just a compliment. Compilation of compliments. Everyone loves compliments. I do not care for your compliments. Or Lady Anise's thanks either. You heard that? You should learn to let people spoil you. I stare at him. That is the last thing I had ever expected anyone to say. My whole life I have been called spoiled and rotten, the ice princess. Even Delore and Parfait want me to do these good deeds because they think I am incapable of goodness. I clench my fist and continue to stare at him, not understanding the swell of emotion inside of me. Why is he being so nice to me? Your first lesson is learning how to let people spoil you. He draws back his hand, reaches into his pocket, and presents me with a small yellow bag. What's this? For you, my sweet princess. I don't remember if accepting it or not accepting it, or... Don't accept. I cannot accept your gift. But Princess, my advice. You have no reason to spoil me. Princess, this is what I've been trying to explain to you all day. You don't need a reason to spoil someone. It doesn't always have to be about paying someone back. Rumple smiles a little sheepishly, then he places the bag in my hand and curls my fingers around it. You deserve nice things, Princess. You barely know me, and yet you still say that? Barely know you. We may not have known each other personally, but that doesn't mean I don't know you. I don't know enough about you. See, he likes it when I don't want him around. I'm giving you this gift because I truly want you to have it. Besides, this is both a thank you and an apology gift. A thank you for accepting me as your partner and an apology for my behavior yesterday. I don't remember what I did, but both you and the boy seemed frightened. Why are his glass... I think it's like that so that you can see his eyes, but also... it's weird. I don't know how I feel about that art style. I look down at the little bag I open it up, and inside is a little white chocolate piece fashioned into the shape of a flower. A lily. It's not much, but you must absolutely accept it, Princess. Otherwise, my guilt would drown me in the dark shadows of sorrow for the rest of my time. Lilies are my favorite flower. They say you give a white lily to someone you enjoy spending time with. Oh, and in floral language, they also stand for purity and majesty. He winks at me. Perfect for you, Princess. Why? Why what? Why would you give this to me? No matter what you say about doing nice things for people, I don't see how that applies to me. And why would you thank me for being your partner? I do not even want to be your partner at first. But you do now? I am unable to withhold my surprise. Rumple raised an eyebrow, then sighs. Princess, you don't trust compliments, do you? Mother always told me that people were two-sided, that they'd say anything to make you believe they were your friend. No. Never fear, my sweet princess. I'll make sure I compliment you until you learn to accept them. But... No buts! I derive my happiness from making ladies like yourself happy. The compliments may seem strange to you, but don't worry, you'll see it in time. See what? The connections between people. You assume I'm just a flirt, but I get to know you an awful lot about people. It's the reason I can guess so much about you. What could Rumple possibly know about me? He knew your favorite flower. So, what do you think? Are you more attracted to me now because of because of my mysterious aura, or my doctorly sophistication? He leans close to me, his eyes sparkling. I could be your own personal doctor. I will slap you if you touch me again. Rumple pulls back and raises both of his hands in surrender, but the smile does not leave his face. You really are hopeless, aren't you? Do you think so? I thought that the events from today might have proven otherwise. Oh, speaking of which, I read over my journal earlier. His expression becomes oddly solemn. Shall I enlighten you? Why would you tell me all of this? Oh, you're not interested? I thought you might be, since I was your partner. If I don't listen, you'll tell me regardless, so feel free to share. Rumple sighs as he flips the journal open. Unfortunately, it was not much. The memory began coming together again as I was reading, but a lot of it still doesn't make sense. I glance down at the entry he has stopped at. Look at the bottom of the page, Princess. I follow his gaze to the bottom of the page and pause, noticing a conspicuous gap. There's no signature, and I always sign the end of every entry I write. I wonder if that might be the final piece of the puzzle. The final piece of your curse? If my name refuses to show up in the book, it may very well be the final memory I need to regain. You believe that the signature will be what gives you your true name, then? I have a feeling that might be the case. It was the first thing I noticed when the entry appeared. That would explain why the boy in town didn't know my name either. And there's something else. Something else that is missing? The journal entry is cryptic at best, vague, almost like an incomplete puzzle piece. I stare at him, not understanding. Slowly, Rumple begins to explain. It says here that the boy's family rushed him to my clinic. He had a terminal illness that I could not cure. He was at death's door and I couldn't save him. But he's still alive, isn't he? He even said you saved him. Yes, there is a resolution in the journal, but it's not very helpful. I glanced down at the journal entry as Rumple continues to speak. I refused to give up. I knew that there had to be a way to save the boy. I never gave up on my patients. In the journal entry, I described someone who came to help me save the boy. He lifts the book and points to the words, reading them aloud. I met her for the first time tonight. She told me she had some way to help the boy, so we struck a deal. I hope I do not come to regret this. He snaps the journal shut, startling me. He sighs as he runs a hand through his hair. That's it. Someone helped me somehow, and I made a deal. I'm assuming this is related to my curse, but I can't say how. Why did you write so vaguely? I wish I could ask my past self that same question. So in the end, you're still not sure when you were cursed. Rumple pauses, then shakes his head. I believe it started here. Not the curse, but the events that led to it. There's a reason this is my first memory to be triggered. It's important. For a few moments, the two of us are quiet. Rumple's curse is a mystery, not because he is hiding it like karma is, but because he does not understand it himself. After a few moments, Rumple begins to laugh, breaking the silence. I look at him startled. What's so funny? Oh, it's not funny, it's just, this is all very mysterious, isn't it? And my mysterious past makes me more alluring, doesn't it? Only Rumple could take such a serious matter and change it into this. Well, what do you think, Princess? Are you drawn into the mystery of it? I have no choice. You tell me, even if I didn't want to know. Oh, but you do. I can see the curiosity in your lovely golden eyes. And I could see it earlier today, too. Thank you for accompanying me to town. I believe that I only met the boy because you were there to guide my way. We were looking for medical supplies. That boy appeared through mere coincidence. No, it was more than coincidence. It was destiny. Fine, whatever you say. Listening to him is exhausting. It makes me realize how tired I am. And all of these revelations are making my head spin. I'm going to bed now. I'm too tired for this. It has indeed been a busy day. We will continue this enlightening discussion some other time. Perhaps. I turn to walk away with a little chocolate in my hands. As I walk back toward the darkness in the hallway, Rumple's soft voice echoes behind me. Sweet dreams, my princess. Chapter 4, A Compliment's Value. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and end this episode here when a dream is happening. I think the dreams are different for each route, because I don't remember that other one about kindness. I also don't remember this image either. So, I'm pretty sure that's a thing. Also, I'm pretty sure that because they mentioned a witch doctor, that he went to the witch doctor. So, that is my bet. That is what I am saying is going to happen. I'm not as annoyed with the princess as I was last time I recorded this. The one that you guys didn't get to see. I don't know if that's because I already read it and my anger annoyance just got taken out then. But I know she gets better, so I'm not as annoyed, but it just refreshed in my head. But yeah, I will continue to get this story out as best I can, and I hope you all have a lovely rest of your morning, afternoon, evening. Please remember to subscribe, comment, ring the bell, do all those things. Do the things so that you can be advised of when these videos pop up, and so that other people who might enjoy these kind of videos can get them recommended to them. And yeah, okay, bye!